Hello students, welcome to Nagesh Karajgi Orchid School channel. Myself Priya teacher and I am going to teach science subject for class 7. So in our previous class we discussed about some types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So specially we learned that insectivorous plants and the mode of insectivorous plants of nutrition. Okay. So in today's lesson we are going to learn about specially symbiotic mode of nutrition and replenishment of soil. So these two concepts we are going to learn in our today's class. So let us start with first point of our class, symbiotic mode of nutrition. So read with me, symbiotic mode of nutrition. So what is mean by symbiotic mode of nutrition? Two plants live in association with each other for food and other resources. Such type of plants are called as symbiotic plants, and the relationship between certain plants is called as symbiosis. So I am going to read one more time and explain you. So two plants live in association with each other. So it means there is a association in between two plants, and what happens there, that such type of plants are so they are living in association. So what is meant by association? So they are helping to each other to for their life. So that is called as a association for the life, and this type of plants are called as a symbiotic plants, and the relationship between certain plants is called as a symbiosis. So such type of plants, some examples are given here, tree and fungi. So here any tree you can say, so any tree and fungi. So these two living organisms or these two types of plants are living in association with, and they are dependent for food and other resources. It means for some minerals or water they are dependent on each other. That is called the symbiotic mode of nutrition. So tree and some types of fungi, they can show this type of nutrition. Then lichens also, one more example, it is a lichen. Next example, it is a pea plant, and fourth one, it is a rhizobium. So let us know about lichens. So one example we are going to see here, lichens. So lichens are an association in between fungus and algae. So fungus is one type of a plant and algae is another type of a plant. So these two plants, which one? See here, fungus and algae. Fungus and algae, these are two types of plants, and these two types of plants are going to be in association for resources and food. I told you. So fungus partner, so it means partner, it means plant. So fungus partner absorbs minerals, whereas alga partner prepare food. So see here, fungus partner or fungus plant cannot prepare their food, and algae, it cannot absorb minerals from the atmosphere or from soil, we can say here. So fungus partner absorbs minerals, and whereas alga partner prepare food. Alga is chlorophyll containing plant. So we know those plants which are containing chlorophyll, these are called as autotrophic plants. It means they can prepare their own food. So here alga is a chlorophyll containing plant. It means it can perform autotrophic mode of nutrition. It means they can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and second plant, it is a fungus. So fungus does not contain chlorophyll. So it means it cannot prepare their own food. Fungus cannot prepare their own food because they are not having chlorophyll in themselves. So they are dependent for food on algae, and algae cannot absorb minerals. That is why they are dependent on fungus for the minerals. So here see, alga provides food to fungus. So what happens here? Because of alga algae or alga, they can prepare their own food, they can share their food with fungus, and fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the alga. Okay. So here it is a association in between these two plants. Which plants are here? Fungus and algae. So see, these are some pictures of lichens. Here you can see three types of lichens plants are here. All these lichens, they are a combination of algae and fungus. So these plants are combined structure of algae plant and fungus plants. So and they are growing on rocks also or on the bark of tree also. Here you can see a structure. Here you can see some types of leaves, leaf-like structure you can see here. And in this picture you can see there is a shrub like a structure. Okay. So structure which is like a shrub you can say here. Then next one, mushroom. Mushrooms also can grow on bark of a tree. So this picture is also showing the association. It means a symbiotic type of a nutrition or symbiotic mode of a nutrition. Then replenishment of nutrients in plants. So before going to learn this replenishment of nutrients in plants, we will see a video here. See this video carefully.
Symbiotic plants. Symbiosis. When two organisms live together by sharing shelter and nutrients and mutually helping each other, their association is called symbiosis or symbiotic relationship, and the organisms are called symbionts. In lichens, an alga and a fungus live together and derive nutrients from each other. The alga, being autotrophic, makes food for both by photosynthesis, while the fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the alga. For example, roots of leguminous plants like gram, beans, etc. contain nodules having rhizobium bacteria. These bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, which are used by leguminous plants. Rhizobium depends on the plant for its food. Thus, leguminous plants and rhizobium have a symbiotic relationship.
So, I think, hope you all understood what is exactly mean by symbiotic mode of nutrition. Okay. So, next it is a replenishment of nutrients in plants. So, first of all, let us see what is mean by replenish. So, replenish, it means to fill or build up. So, to fill something, and replenishment, what is mean by replenishment? So, replenishment is a process by which something is made full or complete again. So, nutrients in the soil are absorbed by the roots of plants. So, here we are saying, we are talking about plants or replenishment of nutrients in plants. So, here that meaning it is given that it is a process by which something is made full. So, what we have to fill here in a soil? So, there are some nutrients which are absorbed by the roots of plants, and these nutrients are used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis or their growth or their development. So, these nutrients can be decreased there, and because of that the amount of nutrients will decrease, and we have to increase that amount of nutrients. That is why it is called as a made full with nutrients. So, what we have to made full? So, we have to made full of nutrients there in a soil, or we have to make that soil fertile. So, replenishment of nutrients in plants, as nutrients absorbed continuously by plants, they are depleted. So, what it means depleted? It means amount of nutrients in soil decreases. So, to replenish So replenish, it means we have to full again again soil with nutrients. So replenish soil, it is necessary adding of nutrients from time to time. So whenever there is a possibility of depleted soil, we have to again add nutrients to the soil, and this process is called as a replenishment. It means only adding of, in simple way we can say that adding of nutrients to the soil for better fertilization of that soil, it is called as a replenishment. So how we can add these nutrients into the soil? So adding of some types of manures or fertilizers, we can replenish soil again, or we can make this replenishment of nutrients in plants also. So there are already you learned in your previous class what it means by manure and what it is mean by fertilizer. Then also I am going to show you the what is actually mean by fertilizer and actually mean by manure. So see, first of all we will see fertilizers. So what is meant by fertilizers? Fertilizers are the man-made chemicals which are rich in nutrients. So these are called as a fertilizers. So there are some types of fertilizers, for example urea, ammonium sulfate, ammonium nitrate and sodium nitrate. So these are some examples of fertilizers. Then next, what is meant by manure? Manure is the waste matter from animals that is put on ground in order to make plants grow better. So this is the fertilizers are the man-made chemicals we can say, and manure it is we can find naturally and we can say these are organic substances. And fertilizers, in fertilizers we are using some types of organic and also inorganic substances. So fertilizers are artificial synthesized chemical salts, we can say in simple language. They are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So what it means, what is these nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium? So nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are some types of minerals which plants can get by these fertilizers. Okay. So these types of nutrients plants also need for their growth and development, and they cannot get from infertile soil or that soil which is used again and again for crop production. So that is why we have to add these fertilizers or manure to the soil. Because of that, fertility of soil can be increased by these fertilizers. Then next point of our this class, it is this chapter, it is nitrogen replenishment by rhizobium. So now only you saw that video, and in that video you see that how that nitrogen replenishment by rhizobium occurs. I will show you this video again afterward also. So first of all we will read and we will try to understand how these rhizobiums are replenish the soil, or we can say plants also. So bacterium rhizobium. So rhizobium, what it means rhizobium? Rhizobium is a type of a bacteria. That is why it is also called as a bacterium rhizobium. So this bacterium rhizobium traps the atmospheric nitrogen. So as we learned in our first part of this chapter, which one? Autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. So in autotrophic nutrition we learned that though there it is a nitrogen present there in atmosphere, but plants cannot absorb it directly. So how they are absorbing this nitrogen? So that nitrogen have to convert into the nitrate, and then only from the roots plants can absorb this nitrogen, and we can find it in a soil only. So this nitrogen, so conversion of this nitrogen, it occurs because of bacterium rhizobium, and this bacterium rhizobium converting this nitrogen into the soluble form, or we can say in a nitrate. So as rhizobium cannot make its own food, it live in the root of leguminous plants to obtain food from root nodules. So, as rhizobium cannot make its own food, so it is a bacteria, it cannot make its own food. So what happens here? So it is living in root of leguminous plants. So leguminous plant, it means these types of bacteria we can find there at the root or in structure of root, and there occurs nodules, root nodules, because of this rhizobium. And what happens? The rhizobium is helping to these plants to get them nitrates or nitrogen. And what plants are giving to rhizobium? So plants are giving food to this rhizobium or bacterium rhizobium. So thus bacterium gets food and oxygen from the plants, and for its survival, and in return it fixes nitrogen for the plants. So because of that they can plants can absorb nitrogen easily. So some examples of these leguminous types of plants: beans are there, gram is there, pea is there, moong is there, soybean is also there. So these are all called as a leguminous plants. In their roots we can find this rhizobium bacteria and some types of nodules also. Have you saw that roots of this pea plant or peanuts plant? So you can observe these types of nodules in their root. So see, some pictures are there. These are nothing but different types of beans, and also some pea is here we can say a picture of. So let us see a video to understand this replenishment of nutrients in plants.
How nutrients are replenished in soil. In this module, let us learn how nutrients are replenished in soil. As we already know, plants absorb mineral nutrients from the soil. Hence, their amounts in the soil keep on declining. Fertilizers and manures contain plant nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. Hence, fertilizers and manures need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. Usually crops require a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. After the harvest, the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Though nitrogen gas is available abundantly in the air, plants cannot use it. They need nitrogen in a soluble form. The bacterium called rhizobium can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a soluble form. But rhizobium cannot make its own food. So it lives in the roots of leguminous plants like peas, moong, etc. and provides them with nitrogen. In return, the plants provide food and shelter to the bacteria. This is called as symbiotic relationship. This association is of great significance for the farmers. They do not need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown. Hence, in this chapter we learned that most of the plants are autotrophs. However, few plants adopt other modes of nutrition like parasitic nutrition and saprotrophic nutrition, and they derive nutrition from other organisms. However, few plants.
Okay. So see, students, in this video what it is explained, that replenishment of soil or replenishment of nutrients into the soil. So I am going to play this video one more time. Okay. So you have to see one more time, then I will explain this.
Plants adopt other modes of how nutrients are replenished in soil. In this module, let us learn how nutrients are replenished in soil. As we already know, plants absorb mineral nutrients from the soil. Hence, their amounts in the soil keep on declining. Fertilizers and manures contain plant nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. Hence, fertilizers and manures need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. Usually crops require a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. After the harvest,
So listen, fertilizers are used in soil, and what happens because of that use of that nitrogen from the soil by the plants, what happens? So amount of that nitrogen, it can be decreased because of its prolonged use. But this nitrogen is very necessary to the plants for photosynthesis process or for their growth and development, I told you. So here when there is no soil is not fertile, or that amount of these types of nutrients is low, then what we have to do? So we have to use fertilizers and manures. So because of this fertilizers and manure, what we can do? So we can make soil fertile. And which type of nutrients are necessary to make soil fertile? So I told you that nitrogen itself, then potassium is also there, and phosphorus is also there. So these are the main three major types of nutrients which can make soil fertile, and these are very important for the plants. So these nutrients we can add in a when there is a infertilization of soil, these nutrients can again make soil fertile. So how we are using? So fertilizers or manures we can use there, and some types of fertilizers I told you. Which one? Ammonium sulfate, urea, or ammonium nitrate and sodium nitrate. So we have to use these types of fertilizers which are made by humans or man. So fertilizers and manures need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. Though we are adding fertilizers or manure, then also that nutrients are used daily by these plants for their growth. So that is why we have to add these fertilizers after some time or after some duration. Because of that, what will happen? The soil will again get full of these nutrients. That is why we have to add these fertilizers time by time to enrich the soil or enrich the structure of soil.
time to time to enrich the soil. Usually crops require a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. After the harvest, the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Though nitrogen gas is available abundantly in the air, plants cannot use it. They need nitrogen in a soluble form.
Okay. So as I told you, though plants need a large amount of nitrogen for their growth or for their development, but though there is a presence of nitrogen in large amount in atmosphere, plants cannot absorb this nitrogen from air directly by their plant. So how they can absorb this nitrogen? So this nitrogen they can absorb by in soluble form by their roots or from the soil only. Okay. So what happens here? So how this nitrogen, it is present in the atmosphere, how it is converted into soluble form, and how it is we can find there in a soil. So see, listen.
The bacterium called rhizobium can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a soluble form.
So I told you that the nitrogen which is present there in the air, that is converted into a soluble form, because plants can only absorb that nitrogen which is in a soluble form. So that is why this rhizobium, which is a bacteria, so this rhizobium which is present there in soil at the side of roots, where there is a roots of plants, there we can find these types of rhizobium bacteria. So these bacteria, what they are doing? So these bacteria can only convert this type of nitrogen which is present in their atmosphere. They can convert it into the soluble form. So here it is in a picture shown that here at the side of root. So this is a plant of bean. So these are the roots of a bean plant, and here it is a structure. So this structure, it is called as a nodule. It is nothing but a nodule. So nodule, it is nothing but it is a part which is showing there is a rhizobium bacteria inside the root of that plant. Okay. So here you can see this structure, nodules. In that, what is there present? Rhizobium is present there in these nodules. Because of that rhizobium is present there, because of that only we can find these types of nodules in these leguminous types of plants. So here also rhizobium is present in this nodule, and this rhizobium is going to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble form.
But rhizobium cannot make its own food, so it lives in the root.
So rhizobium, though it is a living organism, but it cannot prepare its own food. So what happens there? So when that rhizobium is living inside the roots of that leguminous plants, these rhizobiums are getting food from the plant, and rhizobium is helping plants to get nitrogen or nitrates or soluble form of nitrogen or other minerals also.
Roots of leguminous plants like peas, moong, etc. and provides them with nitrogen. In return, the plants provide food and shelter to the bacteria. This is called as symbiotic relationship. This association is of
Okay, so this is called as a symbiotic relationship in between leguminous plants and rhizobium bacteria. So at the initial part of our class, we learned that what it means by symbiotic relationship or what is meant by symbiosis. So in symbiosis what happens? So there are two types of plants we can live in association with each other. So they are dependent on each other for their food and also for their nutrients. So one plant can prepare their own food and one plant cannot prepare their own food. It means they are helping to each other. So here also not only there are two plants, but also there is a rhizobium bacteria which is not a plant, it is a living organism. This is also showing the symbiotic mode of nutrition, which is a type of also two types of plants. Okay, so this is also
great significance for the farmers. They do not need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil.
Shown what it is giving message that cross is given here, red cross is given. You can see in this video that a man is using fertilizers on this crop or in this field, but that cross or red cross it is shown here. Why is this so? It is showing that you do not have to use a lot of fertilizer for the crops, because if the fertilizers we will use in the large amount for their growth and development, it will cause bad effect on these plants, or it will cause any type of harm to these plants. So they cannot grow properly. So excess of fertilizer, it is also not good for the plants. So that message is given here by this red cross. So we do not have to excess amount or excess fertilizers for the crop or in our field or in our garden also. So because of that, plants cannot also grow properly. So prolonged use of these fertilizers, they can also harm these plants. So we have to use in only particular amount, so these fertilizers and manures. Okay children, So in our class, in today's session, we learn about the symbiotic mode of nutrition, and also we discussed here the replenishment of nutrients in soil. So there are so many examples which are showing symbiotic mode of nutrition, but here only we discussed about the pea plants or lichen plants or rhizobium and leguminous plants. So these only, or fungus and any type of tree, here we discussed about, and also we learned about replenishment of nutrients. So how we have to use fertilizer and why we have to use fertilizer we discussed here. So this is done here for today. So I will stop here. Thank you.